The title of this is How to Deal with Insecurities in Your Marriage. And I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. We've been around for over 20 years. And our approach is very different than most. We don't deal with the problem specifically. We deal with why there is a problem, not what's the cause specifically of the problem, but it's more like if you have a plant and the fruit is terrible. So you have this fruit here and this fruit here, and all of it is not good, which is what is happening in your marriage now. Because if you're feeling insecure, guess what? It's not because everything is good, but you're an insecure person. It's because there are things going on in your marriage that are an indication, a strong indication that your marriage as a whole isn't being handled correctly. Yes, I don't want you to be thinking in terms of this out here is the problem, or the in-laws are a problem, or we have kids, too much work, too much this. It's never that. It's never that. Now, I'm going to share a few things with you, and I want you to pay attention. I also want you to subscribe to this channel. When you were growing up and you were going to school, how patient were you and how good of a student were you in your relationship class? Oh, you didn't have a relationship class. Well, welcome to the school system. We don't learn anything about relationships. We don't learn anything about marriages. We don't learn anything about gender differences. In fact, if anything, we're supposed to be buying this nonsense that all genders are the same, which is preposterous. We go into our marriages not knowing how to drive it. I'm going to give you a good metaphor. Imagine that instead of going to driver's ed, learning about how a car starts and where the switch is for the windshield wipers, and learning about maintenance, you didn't learn anything. Someone handed you the keys. And when your mom and dad were driving, you never paid attention. You just see cars going. And now you're in a car that you don't understand. And you have to drive on the roads where there's a bunch of people driving and you don't know the rules. And this is what happened when you got married. Now, you know when you get into a car, the car is for you to get from point A to point B. So I'm going to ask you a very simple question. And give me a very simple answer, because the answer is simple. What's the purpose of marriage? Now look, I've asked this question hundreds, thousands of times. And I always get the wrong answers. Always. All the time that I met with clients, I only had two people answer, and there is a correct answer. Answer correctly. Now, give you a hint. It's not like to have a family, because not everybody wants a family. So it's a universal answer. The reason I'm talking now is to give you time to think of a good answer, and you probably haven't. Happiness. We get married to be happy, but it goes further. We get married in order to be happier every single day of our lives. I call it ever increasing happiness. You get literally happier than the day before, and happier and happier and happier. Pretty soon it's like cloud nine. So that's one answer, but there's another. It's a two-part answer. The other part is going to be less obvious. I doubt if you guessed happiness. The other one, actually some people do guess this more than happiness, and that is to experience love. But not just any kind of love. You know, it's not a, wow, man, I really love you, bro, kind of love. It's not a, oh, I love you, you were so good to help out with the kids. It's It's not that kind of love either. It is the kind of love, if you have kids, it's really easy. When you see your kids sleeping, are you sleeping? Because that's when it happens for most people. You see your kids sleeping and your heart opens up. You just feel so much love. Now, the Western psych world says that is an abstract thought. And I say they're insane. It is more tangible. Yeah, it's not physical, it's not material. You can't sense it with your touch, taste, hear it, see it, but it's tangible. You can feel it. You know it is real, that love. There are other times when you feel that love. This is important for you to understand this love. When you go to a wedding and you're sitting there and all of a sudden you feel this love overwhelm you. Everyone has that experience at every wedding. I don't know why, but that's love. That's what you're supposed to be feeling with your spouse. Okay. You can still have that feeling with your spouse. You need to learn how. You need to admit that you never learned how to be married. And one of my books will teach you all you need to know about marriage. But if your marriage is really going south and it's moving towards divorce, then take one of the courses, whether it's the course for men if you're a man, or the course for women if you're a woman, and go to our website, themarriagefoundation.org, and take a look at what we have. Because you need to learn how to drive that stinking car. You need to learn how to drive that marriage. Now I'm going to ask you a very simple question again. If you were feeling this love, which you just need to know where the dials are, would you feel insecure in your marriage? Of course not. Because love is why you get married. It is the love banishes, floods out all fear, insecurity, indecisiveness. You learn how to be comfortable in your marriage, how to experience your marriage the way it's supposed to be. I hope you understand. It isn't your fault. It isn't your husband's fault or your wife's fault. We just don't learn. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Subscribe to the channel, listen to our podcasts, go to our website, and experience marriage for what it is. You'll be floating. I'm not kidding. You will literally be floating for the rest of your life in marital bliss. How can you go wrong? Thanks for spending time with me. Take care. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Take care.